Hey internet friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay at LiJo, and today I'm going to be responding to your assumptions about me. Yes, I thought this would be an interesting video. I've seen it floating out there on the internet, so we're gonna hop right in. Here we go. All right, so I used a Google form so you guys could submit anonymously because I didn't want anyone being scared of, me knowing it was them. And you guys really used that opportunity. Actually, a lot of you said really nice things. I read every single one. I had it open for a few hours and I had 194 submissions into the form. And you guys said some really nice things, really kind things. Some of you said some dirty things. Let's just say we took the anonymous vibe, we took it seriously, folks. And so I'm not going to be going through all of the submissions because it's gonna sound weird if I'm just complimenting myself from your perspective or saying nice things, but I read everything and I am going to save these. They're gonna have a special place in my Google Drive. Also, one of you just is like, wants my teeth in a jar under your bed. That's not gonna happen either. So we're just gonna go with some of the general assumptions and I am going to respond like a cool YouTuber. I'm gonna respond to them. All right, so these two kind of go together. One says, I assume you don't eat a lot of pizza. The next one says, you like pineapple on pizza. These are two separate submissions. I don't eat a lot of pizza. I just don't. I don't order pizza because generally it's not the kind of pizza I can eat, but I do eat vegan pizza probably like twice a month, I'd say. And I don't put pineapple on my pizza, but I'm also not opposed to it. I mean, that's okay. Now, I'll tell you what is really good is cinnamon on pineapple. Don't maybe put that on the pizza. That could be a weird, clash, but actually cinnamon on all yellow fruits, I've had quite good experiences with. So I would take the cinnamon concept and yellow, roll with that. All right, next one here, it says, I bet you forgot you had hamsters and plants, rip. All right, I did have a hamster growing up. Her name was Leslie, and I'll insert a picture somewhere here. She was a great little hamster. She was very chill until the day she got some disease. And my mother tried to force feed her Gatorade and the hamster rebelled. That was her last day. But moral of the story is I did not forget about the hamster. And yeah, the plants, listen, we're gonna have to have a whole different show about plants at some point. I'm just kidding, we're not gonna do that. This one says, sometimes you only wear makeup specifically for a video, otherwise you would not bother. Yeah, that's generally true. When I go to work, I don't wear makeup. And yeah, so yeah, pretty much videos, a little mascara here and there. But yeah, videos, I try to make myself look SF presentable to the best of my ability. So just for you internet people. All right, so this next one says, you're on the verge of a shakeup. So my question is, what INFJ are you and why are you coming for me? All right, next one is, I assume you're cool because of the way you present in your videos, but as a fellow NI Dom, I know in my heart you are a nerd. Much love, NI team. Hey, much love to you too, my fellow brother. And yeah, I mean, I hope I don't know. I'm glad that I can be perceived as cool sometimes, and I am a huge nerd. I'm a huge music nerd in growing up and study really weird holes of things for, we don't have to get into that, but it's like, it'll be, 11:30 at night and I'm like incessantly typing away at my computer, trying to solve something. You know what I mean? The big thing. All right, so next one we have here comes from an ESFP, Enneagram 7. He says, so obviously I'll go with, after a few drinks, you lower your guard and are not as concerned about coming across as intelligent or philosophical. You have a really fun side. I can tell because of your funny, dry side comments that you've got repressed, spark something fun, once someone breaks the ice. So basically he's saying that I can be fun if I've had a few drinks and I'm less concerned about my presentation. So basically, like, I don't drink, I don't have the ability to hardly maintain hydrated with just drinking my regular water throughout the day. And so then the idea of like, then you add alcohol and then it's like even harder to be hydrated, and then my sleep schedule's off, and then it's like, it's already hard enough for me to like get normal sleep in the first place. And so I just don't, and it's not really beneficial feeling to me. I've probably had like 5 drinks in the past 2 years, but if I do drink, and it only has to be 1 drink if I do, it's just really, I wouldn't say I'm fun, but my fire gets turned on for debate and, you know, trying to argue aside just because it's enjoyable. And so I wouldn't call that fun, but it would be entertaining if you're watching from, you know, a third party, watching me destroy somebody with a great argument. Generally speaking, it's like I don't have the energy to do that in real life. Just, there's other things to do. But liquid energy, there you go. All right, you can't stand not knowing things. That's very correct. If there is something that I'm set on knowing or understanding, it's like an addiction that I can't, I'm fiending. That's literally what it feels like. It's like I'm fiending to get to an understanding on something, and it's like I can't stop until I get there. Just this drive from within. And even if that's like a longer process of understanding, it's like that addiction is still keyed into that same psychoactive piece of information. All right, this one says, you're secretly sensitive, but you try to hide it. I am sensitive on the FI inside. I have a very deep emotional world. Sometimes it's sad. It's like sometimes life is really sad. And sometimes, yeah, and you just have to wallow in it. But then you get out and things are okay. But yeah, I can be sensitive to certain things. Generally speaking, I'll bulldoze over most things, but I have like a little baby. Like FI is a little baby on the inside. She cries sometimes. Don't tell anybody. All right, this one says that you were very into astrology before. I actually had an overwhelming amount of astrology comments, whether that be like for astrology, against astrology, you think astrology, Australia, think astrology is stupid, whatever. So just to answer this one is, I've never been into astrology. If you like it, great. I know I'm a Gemini because people have asked me that in a million different comments, but I'm not particularly into it or its study. If you are, power to you. All right, so next, my assumption about you is that you're kind of serious, but I wouldn't say you're too serious. You know what? This one's spot on. I am kind of serious, and I think that's why I perceive my own self as being kind of boring sometimes, because when I'm focused on something, it's just like I'm in my own world. No one else exists. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to interact. I'm not going to answer a text message. It's just like I'm in wherever I am, and that's kind of my serious zone. But I'm also very like, once I click out of that, I equally have this other side of myself. I just feel like I'm that side, my less serious side. It's like very few people get to see that place. Yeah, just very few people in general get to see my less serious side. I hope I get to show it a little bit here and there. Some of you guys see it for sure. It creeps out, like it's like a little creature. I assume some days you're tired of all this, and I hope that for every one of those days you have at least an equivalent time to turn off and just be in the moment. Thank you for your content, Lindsay. Self-care for the win. Yeah, sometimes I do get tired of all this. Like all this, like all this, all this, all this. And I have been trying to be better to myself about turning off and just like not caring about the order in which I want to approach everything in life, and just letting some things go and be okay with that. It's been a good practice for me. All right, here, flip to the other side. That's how you know we're serious. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so next one, it says, you follow recipes to a T. I could see how you might think that because innately, you know, food is weird. But actually, I don't follow recipes. I, at some point in my life, kind of like understood how flavors work together. So like, in order to balance a flavor or a set of flavors, like kind of what components would need to be mixed, like an acid, a base, like you want something with fat, you want something with sharpness, you know, you want something sweet, you want something salty. And so like knowing that, I'll just kind of, and if I have kind of a general idea of what ingredients, I can pull it off usually pretty decently if I'm actually trying to cook, which the last time I had time to do that, it's been a long time. But yeah, I'm more of a conceptual cooker than a literal cooker, but generally it comes off pretty well. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna make a pot pie. And then I'm like, it should have these kind of elements in it that would make sense. And that's how I make food. It's not always great. And I can't really do that with baking. It's kind of a disaster. And most of the time, I am eating either a salad with some veggie nuggets in it, or I'm eating cereal out of a bag in my backpack. So this is how we do it. All right, we have another food related one. This one says, I assume you eat an unusual amount of garlic. When I do choose to eat garlic, it's excessive. I did a liver cleanse a few years ago that was only apple and garlic for 4 days. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone that is not tolerant yet of these things, or anyone who hasn't detoxed prior. But I did it, and by the end of 4 days of apple and garlic, let me tell you, you are just salivating for more apple and garlic. Like, I'm actually serious. Like, you get excited for that meal. And that being said, I can eat a lot of garlic. All right, second to the last one here. You would be very boring to talk to in real life. You would also probably be boring to hang around with too. I'm probably wrong though. Okay, so which is it? I can be boring to talk to in real life, 100%. That is a true assumption. Unless it's in one of the few pockets. If we connect on a subject matter, oh, I'm very, very interesting to talk to. That's why I like talking to you guys in the comments and those who book with me like on Snug. It's so easy for me to talk about type and personality because it's such a deep interest of mine, and I put so many hours into understanding it. So that's an example of a subject I am not boring on, because I can go for days and days and days on that subject. Hang around with, so I am boring to hang around with because I'm usually on my laptop. But if we are creating something together, let's say it's a video, then I'm not boring because we're doing a creating process together, and it depends what is being done hanging around, basically. So you're right and you're wrong. And last one I'm going to hit today is you're becoming better at FE, which is just a statement, and I just had to say it because thank you. I've really worked hard on that function, and the more that I've grown in FI, the greater I've been able to connect on FE, but it's still a forever process. So thanks guys for watching this video. I hope you learned a little bit about me. I feel like a lot of this stuff you kind of knew already. Your assumptions were great. Thanks to everyone who dropped stuff in there, even the weird ones of you out there. Thanks guys for coming out. I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.